let me ask you this. Then I'm not going to speak on Orlando. Let me ask you something about yourself. There was a rumor that Tupac had knocked you out one time.
I'd have killed him. That
would have been your response if that happened.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you and everybody else. I said it on my podcast show. Him, Suge, and my brother. I'd have shot all three of them if he touched me. That's how I was living.
Why is that?
That's what I was back then.
And so,
whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McDonald, it's fair to say that you're here because of a court order. Is that right?
Right.
That you didn't volunteer to come or anything like that?
Not at all.
Okay. But you were instructed by a court that you had to attend.
Yes.
At the time you live in Compton, you go back to Compton, and you tell us that there was a lot of tension. Was there? Can you describe that for us when you went back in terms of what kind of tension we're talking about?
You sure you want me to answer that?
Is it going to be graphic?
No, I ain't gonna. I got to raise the word in it, but you asking me a question. I don't. And what I explained to them, I don't want to send him to prison.
Sure.
Even though we don't like each other.
Sure.
I don't want to send you to prison. So that's why I'm here where I'm at and where I am, because I changed my life. I'm raising my grandkids, teaching them never to be like their papa. And here I am explaining to people what I used to be. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. And you asking me questions that can hurt him. And like I told them, I'm trying to avoid to answer the questions that they might look at me and say, something is wrong.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me help you out with this.
Thank you.
So these people right here, what they want to know from you is, did you see who shot Tupac?
I told you no.
Correct. So outside of that question, right, the next question I'm asking you is, when you went back to Compton, was it like a Southside Crip that shoots a Pyru Blood, and then a Pyru Blood shoots a Southside Crip? Is that the tension that we're talking about?
Do I answer this?
That's a straightforward question. It's a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Did you see that?
When I was a part of that life, I was a part of that. And I was, no, because you asking something that's going to hurt this dude. And okay, let me stop.
And once again, I want to emphasize.
When we got back to Compton,
okay,
it was a gang war. People were getting hurt.
Okay.
People was being sought. People were looking for certain individuals from his neighborhood.
Okay.
As well they did mine.
Okay.
But Orlando, him, and certain other people were being assaulted because people wanted to kill them.
Sure. Were they the only ones that they wanted to kill?
I'm not the only one up in here. No, they weren't the only one. Okay. It's his neighborhood in particular.
That's right.
But they were the main subjects of a gang war. They was in the middle, such
Sure.
as me.
So you're telling us that people back home somehow had some type of information that said that guy, as a bunch of other people, were involved in what?
In the murder of Tupac.
Okay, but my question to you...
Stop.
Can you focus on me for a second, sir?
Yeah, I will.
And I apologize. I just want to make sure that we're clear, okay, for these people. In terms of that information, none of those people were there, right?
What people you be speaking on? The people that was already in the neighborhood, or the people that left Las Vegas that same night Tupac was shot to go home, bear their arms, and go to somebody else's neighborhood to look for somebody? They had to pay it back.
So once again, my question to you is that the information that I'm asking about is the people that back home, you're saying were eyewitnesses to this?
How could people back home be eyewitnesses to something that happened in Vegas? No, that's not what I'm saying.
The people that were here in listen to my question, sir. The people that were here in Las Vegas, you're telling me were eyewitnesses to what happened and went back home. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, the people that was at 662.
Just answer my question, sir. Yes or no?
I can't answer that without a what you call it. You trying to tell me to say something that you're not going to understand if you let me explain to you.
No, answer my question.
I'm not answering nothing. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. McDonald, focus for a second.
No, I am focused, very.
Focus on this. My question to you is this. You didn't know what happened that night because you weren't there.
I was at 662.
Right. Do you know who that was there?
I know everybody that was there.
Okay. Like who?
Talk to your lawyer, man. This dude is tripping. I'm not going to explain that. I can't answer that. Like I explained to everybody in here. You ask me something, I'm going to be honest about it. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're going to have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not going to talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not going to send him to prison. You are.
So the accusation now is because of the fact that we're trying to ask you questions, you're blaming it on me.
You asking me questions. If I just answer your questions, we gonna have a problem in here, a misunderstanding. And
Yo, it's Big Ant the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and I do want to first make it very clear because I know y'all see me laughing right there in the beginning watching this with y'all. I am no way, shape, form, or fashion laughing at the storyline of Tupac losing his life, Keffe D possibly spending the rest of his life in prison, the pain that Mob James and other people connected to this storyline, loved ones, family members, whatever they played out. I most definitely would never laugh at something like that. But watching it, I'm laughing at the delivery of the way that Mob James is acting right there inside the courtroom in real time. I couldn't keep a straight face. I tried to, I wanted to, but when I watch it, the way that he all theatric and things, and I've never seen it before, well, while somebody's in the courtroom, they tell the person, lawyer, man, get your lawyer, man. Get him. And it's like, I'm like, hold on, bro. What is Mob James doing? Because the state and prosecutors, they had already asked them the questions first, and they came with their approach to it. But I don't know if he doesn't understand in real time, like, hey, basically what they're doing on Keffe D's lawyers trying to get like, hey, you didn't see the shooting. You was at the club. You didn't have nothing. You didn't see this. You wasn't in the car. And just establish that there's just basically a gang war going on already. But you didn't see nobody pull a trigger. So it's like, hey, let's come up here, basically create the reasonable doubt and make his testimony, him being on the stand, look a certain way with the jury and things like that. And I had a link in the description where you can watch the clips of the beginning in full and from Law and Crime Network as we are now here 30 years later. This is a wild situation. And also Reggie White, that's another story in itself, the way that they have gone back and forth throughout the years. He was in the courtroom as well today. But overall right here, this is a wild case. Day 2. For the simple fact, we don't get here today if Keffe D keeps his mouth closed. He null and voided his proffer that he did like in 08, 09 for a drug case he caught, which he came with this federal and state agreement with Caden, and this wasn't supposed to be thought of and heard of, but he decided to go do these interviews, do a doc, write books, and everything of the sort. In my personal opinion, they are basically just using a technicality in this right here because he was supposedly, as he said, there, but he didn't pull the trigger. He never claimed to pull the trigger, but they are going to use that against him, putting him there, time, place, and everything of the sort 30 years later, bro. And this is all an investigation for a situation that he put himself in, if we keeping it all the way 100 right now. He's 63 years old. Dog is 1 year older than my pops. And to see him put himself in this type of thing right here and see how this is playing out throughout these years, everything connected with this case has been a wild story. He the only person left that was inside the car. It's like now we get a big case for one of the biggest rappers ever, one of my favorite rappers of all time, most definitely. I still got him as number 1. But for this to be going on 30 years later, this is a wild situation right here, and how it's playing out. It's going to be several more of these moments right here. Suge Knight serving a lot of prison time already. Keffe D looking at a gang of prison time. And this is how all this stuff ended out. Which started out, okay, you had the gang beef, which you had the artists kind of getting different artists is getting tied, different rappers and things getting tied into it. And then now 30 years later, boys that got old and gray, going to prison still and get locked up for it in real time. Diddy name got brought up in this situation as well. Others. It's just going to be a lot going on with it. We'll keep y'all updated on it. But I said, let me cover this right here today, and we'll see what happened with it. Tell me what y'all think, man. This is a case of him over-talking, and they found it a technicality that they feel they can get you on, and they going to try to make the prison this new home, man. We just got to call it for what it is. We'll have to see. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.